Okay, FightHype.com here today with Eddie Hearn. How are you today, Eddie?
Buzzing. You must be buzzing.
Oh yeah, and welcome back to Birmingham.
Yeah. Been a long
Means I've got
time.
to keep driving all these long journeys now.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see Frankie on Sky Sports with yourself. I mean, how easy was the deal to make?
Do you know what? It took about half an hour, to be honest with you. We spoke on the phone. He told me he was out of contract and ready to have a chat. He came into the office. I told him I'm sick and tired of seeing him miserable and not with a smile on his face, especially when he's fighting. Yeah. And we had a great chat, and he left the office and he was buzzing. And now we're here. So 5-fight deal initially. Yeah. March the 28th at the Sheffield Arena for the Kell Brook card. He'll be on there. He'll headline here at the NIA. And everything's in front of him now. He's got all the dates he needs. He's got the platform he needs, the broadcaster he needs, and it's time to shine.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Frankie technically one of the best boxers in the country. I mean, very slick, good counter puncher. Fighters like that need a good dance partner. I mean, in his last few fights, it appears that he hasn't had that. I mean, obviously, what kind of opponent are you looking to get in there with Frankie?
Well, I think for his style, I think he's been matched poorly, to be honest with you. I mean, you look at, no disrespect to those fighters, and it doesn't mean they're bad fighters who he's fought, but Bradley Price and Bradley Skeet, even Jason Wellborn, those kind of fighters, put him in with a dent in the cell and watch him go. I think he can still fight any of those fighters with any style, but you've got to make him look exciting, and you've got to make people enjoy watching him. And I think he's got to go into fights where he can look great. Yeah. And that's in a fight against someone who is aggressive and comes forward and likes to fight. Yeah. But I feel like he's one of those fighters. He's a buzz fighter. He's a bit like James DeGale. He's very technically gifted, and he's got a lot of natural skill. And those fighters, they need to box with a smile on their face. They need to love what they're doing. And I think James DeGale wasn't enjoying what he was doing. Put him at Wembley, put him in the Echo Arena, sold out, and watch him go. Yeah, of course. And it's going to be the same with Frankie Gavin. Yeah,
I mean, obviously one of the underlying factors will probably be the fact that Kell Brook, as world champion now, is probably the best avenue for Frankie to get to world title. Because at the moment, obviously Pacquiao and Floyd are looking for the big money fights coming to the end of the career. I mean, how close do you think Frankie is to facing Kell for that world title?
Not that close right now, but it's the obvious move in time. Yeah. I need to build that fight into a fight that's going to be a huge pay-per-view fight, and it's not yet. Yeah. So Kell, after the Jojo Dan fight, is looking for that big marquee name for a pay-per-view date. In 12 months' time, that could be Frankie, and actually by the time the next mandatory comes around, that'll probably be the position that he's in. Kell would be up for that fight, no problem, if it's big enough, and it's not yet. Not enough people know about Frankie Gavin, and that's about to change. So let us do our job on him, let him go out and box in March, headline here, perhaps win the European title, go on, maybe fight for an eliminator fight, and by the time that comes round, he'll be in a position where he is big enough that that's a really big fight.